the basis for this conversation is comedies have died.
Comedy movies.
Comedies died in like 2014, right?
Yeah.
Okay. My personal opinion, and I know I've been argued with this before, but my personal opinion is that the last great comedy movie was Tropic Thunder. We've never hit that mark since. It's always everybody's too scared to make comedy movies because everybody's too sensitive. Tropic Thunder is the one that took the most risks, was the funniest.
What was the one in Vegas?
Hangover?
Hangover.
Those were funny, but I don't
Hangover
think...
was newer than Tropic Thunder, right?
Yes, but I don't think they're as funny as Tropic Thunder.
Really?
Yeah.
I think they are.
I think they're funny, but I don't think they take as many risks. And to me, comedy has to take risks.
Tropic Thunder is rewatchable, whereas Hangover isn't.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Really? Fair. You don't think Hangover is rewatchable?
No, because once you figure out what's happened and what's going on and what the mystery is and like what the hijinks were, like the joke isn't as funny.
Listen, I can watch those guys get fucked up with a taser.
I can't watch you lose a tooth more than once with the same effect.
I laugh every time.
Yeah, but
I laugh every time.
But I can watch Robert Downey Jr.
I can watch Ken Jeong. I can watch Ken Jeong jump out of the back of that car.
Listen, I have never quoted anything from Hangover except for like, oh, we're in the wolf pack.
Well, what about the
but
did you die? But did you die? Don't you do that?
I've gifted that.
Okay.
I've gifted that to people.
Is that the line? Is that the bar? Is it quotable? Is that what makes a comedy movie?
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me.
Straight again.
Yeah, that's old school.
You know,
I say that once a week.
Is that what makes a good comedy movie?
It's part of it, but I think the other part
is my boy Blue.
Yeah. That's
how many times have you heard me say I'm the guy disguising the dude playing another dude with no context?
Right.
You never go full retard.
That's Tropic Thunder.
I don't care.
We're talking about it. It's a quote from a movie.
He's had more than one vodka, and now he's like,
all right. YouTube can kiss.
It's part quoting it, part being able to quote the movie, but also I think it's how many risks does the movie take. Like personally,
all of them with Tropic Thunder.
Exactly, and that's to me what makes that movie great. Is it takes so many risks and so offensive. Right. It's like Blazing Saddles.
Well, honestly,
Blazing Saddles is famous because it was freaking risky.
His name is Johnson. His last name is Johnson because Johnson is a nickname for a giant dick. Okay, that's what a Johnson is.
Right.
So, don't show me that Johnson.
We got.
Honestly, when they were talking about making this movie, they were like, "Can we?" And Robert Downey Jr. was like, fuck yeah, we can. And they made it almost like as a fuck you.
Like a dare.
Absolutely.
Like a dare.
Yeah. And that's what makes good comedy to me. They push boundaries, but you know, what are you gonna do? Cancel them because they push some boundaries?
That's funny. That's what happened is like our society got so soft that like after a while people started getting offended at comedies.
Society is soft right now.
They got offended at comedies, and then guys like Todd Phillips, who make comedies, I think he made The Hangover. Is that correct? Todd Phillips directed The Hangover. Right. He now is like, I'm never doing comedies anymore because every time you do a comedy, somebody gets upset.
Did Joker?
Yeah, he did. Instead, he did that movie, which was wild.
Yeah,
and people got upset.
People got upset about that, but in a different way.
Everybody's gonna be upset.
Everybody's gonna be upset.
That's just where we are.
Yeah, you can't make anything without upsetting someone.
So you might as well just make the movie.
So what was your experience for The Machine?
Okay, so I'm a fan of Bert Kreischer's comedy. I think I follow him on social media.
Can you guys, just for the uninitiated, explain who Bert Kreischer is and where
he's a gross dude who takes his shirt off all the time. And people think he's funny.
He is funny. He's hilarious.
I just said people think he's funny.
He's a stand-up comedian who is in like the inner circle of the Joe Rogan type people. He's in that. He's like Ari Shaffir, Bert Kreischer. What's Bert's best friends? Tom Segura. All those guys. He's in that circle.
They do the Two Bears One Cave show.
Yeah.
Bert does his
Bertcast, and then he has a cooking show.
He has a cooking show where he makes terrible food.
He does, yeah. It's funny.
Yeah,
so.
I'm not going to eat it.
Bert is huge in the podcast world.
Definitely, for sure. He's a very talented guy. And he wanted to make a comedy to bring back comedies.
You know, he's pretty ballsy.
Yeah,
likes to take his shirt off.
He's very balls forward.
Shows his belly out
Jesus,
there.
I've never seen your belly before. Wow, now I can mark that off my list.
Wow.
Luckily, the camera was framed correctly.
Bucket list.
Check.
We spent like 45 minutes getting his camera correct today, and that has paid off.
That's a new experience for me. So he's been
Vader
advertising
just
this
went
movie.
Girls Gone Wild.
Yeah, he did. I don't know how he made this movie or how he got it made, but he was like, I want to make a movie about the story that he famously tells during his stand-up comedian.
That's the
Machine.
one comedy sketch of his that I thought was funny. I've listened to a lot of Bert Kreischer, and I'm like, he's just not for me.
Bert's
the machine is funny.
Bert's funny because he is ruthless.
Mm-hmm.
He is just takes his world and his wife and his kids, and he roasts the living shit out of them and their world. It's
did you know that the character,
as a guy who raised 2 daughters, that's why I like Bert, because I raised 2 daughters. I have a wife, and
he drinks a lot of Tito's.
He drinks a lot of Tito's.
Yeah. He has a wife. If you aren't paying attention,
absolutely fun of them. It's really funny, and they're all in on it. Okay, you know he can't. No comedian is going to go out there and make that much fun of his family
without their blessing.
Yeah. It's just not going to happen.
I think the blessing part is the key. Yeah. Because I feel like there are people like Howard Stern who just like went out there and talked about his personal life and was like, whatever, this is just what I'm here for. And the repercussions kind of fell down and he didn't take responsibility for it. And his family members were just like, wow, that was fucked up for me. Whereas Bert Kreischer is just like, my family unit, we all have consent. And here are the parameters of what I'm allowed to talk about.
If you're not familiar with Bert's humor, his comedy, his specials, all of his comedy is talking about his relationship with his wife and his daughters. And then he ends the show with his machine story. That's Bert's. That's his thing. Am I wrong?
No.
That sounds right?
Yep.
And they took the machine story
and they made it into a movie.
And they turned it into a movie. And
kind of it's a sequel to the machine story. Yeah, he's the main character.
Yeah, he's the main character.
But when that story happened, he was like 17.
Yeah, so there's flashback sequences.
So this is a sequel to his machine story that he says in his comedy.
Tell me about the movie.
Okay, so
review the movie for me.
The new movie takes place now.
Okay,
and he's Bert Kreischer plays himself. So
a version of himself. Yes,
a version of himself. The story about the machine that he does on his comedy skit happened when he was in college, and the movie.
And wrap it up really quickly for people who have never heard this, like what the machine is.
He gets involved with the Russian mafia. He robs a train. A bunch of really crazy things happen.
He's on a school trip.
Yeah.
Hijinks happen.
He's a partier.
He's in Russia.
Yeah. Things happen. He gets involved with the Russian mafia. He robs a bunch of people. And then that's the story. But anyway, the movie.
He robs his own people.
Yeah. The movie is a sequel to that story. And he has to go back to Russia because the people that he robbed and did dirty in Russia came to get him and said, you're going to come back to Russia with us. And they kidnap him and his father, played by Mark Hamill.
Okay.
They take him back to Russia and he has to retrace his steps from the machine story, and there's flashbacks.
Because Luke Skywalker plays his dad.
Yes,
that's actually really funny. I thought that this was just going to be a reenactment of the skit. Okay,
no, it's the repercussions from the story.
Yeah,
it's like when they robbed the train, he took a watch from this guy who was a family heirloom, and that
belongs to this Russian mafia.
To this Russian mobster guy, and the whole movie is about the mobster's kids trying to find that watch so they can claim their place as the leader of that family.
Little did they know Christopher Walken had that watch
shoved up his ass for 5 years.
Yeah.
So uncomfortable hunk of metal.
And it's kind of a weird story about the relationships between father and son.
Yes. And father-daughter. So here's but I'll give you my review. Not that I'm gonna review it, but this is my thoughts on this. So his claim of like, I'm gonna bring back comedies, we're gonna make crazy freaking comedies. I don't quite think he accomplished that.
No, I don't.
I didn't think this movie took a lot of risks. It was a pretty safe by the book comedy. I think it had a pacing problem. I think there was a lot of really good moments, and then there was long lulls of taking a look at your own self and your flaws and dealing with family trauma and all that stuff. And then there's like moments of comedy and then long moments of family drama and then a moment of comedy. And it kind of like slumped too many times for me. I needed a faster paced ride for this to really work. That's I like the movie. It's not bad. I don't think it hit the marks for me to be a good comedy.
It was a bad movie. I enjoyed the movie. My wife went with me. She's gonna say it was
Yeah.
but you know what? I looked at my wife when I was watching this movie.
She was laughing.
She was chuckling. She
yeah.
was giggling. She under her breath. She was like,
She's like,
so I'm not
Jude.
gonna admit that I was laughing about this movie, but she got her money's worth.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
The audience that
I
I
feel like
was
you're
with.
talking shit about me in front of me, to me.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying because I know you don't like Bert Kreischer, so you probably like you would
What
think
is
some
there
of these
not to
things are
like
funny.
about Bert Kreischer? What don't you like about?
She doesn't
Bert
like party
Kreischer?
Well,
dudes.
you guys have been going off in our work group chat about how awesome Bert Kreischer is. I bought my tickets. I'm going this time, this day. Here's my seat. I'm like, I don't want to know about any of this.
Yeah.
I hate Bert Kreischer.
Why? Why do you hate Bert Kreischer?
Because she
Don't
doesn't like party
care about-
boys.
Okay.
I don't understand your
I-
disdain.
Dude bros.
He's not a dude bro.
Kind of is.
He's just a fat dude that likes to party.
That's
He's a former dude, bro, in the form of a fat dude who likes to party.
I don't know.
anyway.
I am a woman who has worked in bars, and I have known bros who have, I don't know, had a story to tell and a goal to prove. And he's just like, for me, he's just like the dude who just like had to come into the bar tonight to be like the story you tell the next day. I've known this guy for 100 years, it seems.
That's why she doesn't like Bert.
And I've listened to his comedy,
I
and
understand.
The Machine is very funny.
I don't understand.
I don't
The
understand.
Machine, it's a very funny story.
Yeah.
It is a
And the
really funny
rest of
story.
it is just like some guy who's just like, I'm gross. I'm a dude. I'm gonna take my shirt off. Isn't it hilarious? And that's just all it is.
That's
for
how
me.
I feel about a lot of female comedians.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm gross. Here's my pussy. And I'm going to talk about sex. And I'm like, you're not funny.
Who is that?
Every female comedian, almost
Amy
ever,
Schumer.
except for the one super funny Asian chick, Amy. I don't know what her name is.
Oh
but
my God. Are you about to say Aquafina?
Oh.
No, not her. The chick from Beef on Netflix. I can't remember her name. But anyway,
Oh, is beef good?
it was all right. It was fun. Anyway, the reasons why you don't like Bert are the reasons why I don't like female comedians.
Just
Because
all.
I think the
okay,
reason
I'm
she-
talking about one dude, and you're like, all
all
women.
of them.
The
All
reason,
women.
the
Every one
reason
of
she
them.
doesn't like Bert is the reason I love that guy. Oh my God. Get your fucking mouth out of my
Good.
face.
anyway, so what did you
This is
do? You
the
agree with me?
reenactment of my hockey fight the other night.
Things are getting wild in the studio today. So do
This
you?
1 ounce plastic
What's
bottle.
your take on this movie? Do you agree with me? Do you think it was better than I thought it was?
Well, I don't know. I enjoyed this movie.
Okay.
I had a good time. Yes. I do not think it is the return of comedy.
Okay.
to
Of the
two
Mac?
movies. Okay. I at the same time, I do think it was a funny movie.
Mhm.
I really love the Russian chick. Oh my God.
I bet you do.
Yeah, she was awesome. You know, it's like the chick that came up to me in the hotel. Do you want to have a good time? I was like, yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I most certainly do.
You want
That-
to end up in
You want
blink?
to have a good time, you stupid American fat man? Yes, I do. I absolutely do. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. It's a fun movie. It's a funny comedy movie. If you're a fan of Bert Kreischer, there's nothing to dislike here.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
If you're not a fan of Bert, then don't bother. Wait till it's on HBO or Max or something. Whatever.
So
it's gonna
legit, when
come
you
out.
guys were talking about this, I just thought it was going to be you guys. I have heard nothing about this movie,
Uh-huh.
but I just know that you guys were talking about
Yeah.
it, and I legit thought like I've listened to his comedy about like The Machine before, and I thought it was like just going to be like a live showing of him, like his stand up about
Mhm.
the Machine story. When I heard that it was an actual movie, I was like, oh no, not for me at all.
So I
go
think,
with God. Go with Bert Kreischer. Go with your
I-
God, Bert Kreischer.
yeah, I think
And
I-
I'll just not do that.
Hey guys, if you could do me a quick favor, if you like this episode and it tickles your fancy or any other episode that we've done in the past, share it on social media and tag us in that post so that we know you're talking about us, and we will immediately jump onto that app and we will respond to your tag and we can talk about what you like about the episode and possibly talk about something that we might want to cover in the future. And we would love to bring you in our community. We have a wonderful Discord app as well. There's a bunch of people in there that just love chatting with us. And we'd love to hear from you. So if you like this podcast, tag us in that post and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thank you guys so much. Back to the podcast.
I appreciated this movie because I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Bert.
Yeah.
Okay. I listen to his podcasts when I can. I know about Leanne, his wife, and his kids, and I've heard all the stories that he tells about his kids. And all of Bert's material was in one way or another incorporated into the script of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a fan of Bert, then you will like this movie because it's all there. And, but at the same time, if you're not, if you're just somebody going to a comedy movie, you're gonna miss some stuff. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna
get all the jokes.
You're not gonna get all
it's
the
tied
jokes
directly to Bert. Yeah,
so like,
gotcha.
it's not an old school.
Your best friend Bert.
It's not old school movie. It's a Bert Kreischer movie. If you're a fan of Bert's material, you will understand what's going on. It's a funny movie. There's a lot of funny stuff that you will laugh at if you're not a Bert Kreischer fan. But if you are, then you will find it. It'll add another star to it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's a 3-star. It's a 2-star movie if you're not a Bert Kreischer fan. It's a 3.5-star movie if you are.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally does. That's I think that's fair. But I wanted to support this movie because I do want to support the return.
I
of
want
good
comedy
comedies.
to come back.
Yeah, I want comedy to come back. So I like this movie wasn't quite it. It wasn't there, but I want them to keep trying.
Yes.
I want other comedians to come up with like crazy freaking comedy movie ideas. And I want studios to be like, oh, that Bert Kreischer one made a lot of money. Let's make another one. Yes. I want that machine to start chugging along.
Has it made a lot of money?
I have no idea what the box office
I'm going to
is.
say
I should probably Google that.
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably
Well, you know what
Do
I
you
thought was
think
really interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
I mean, it's going up against.
No, you hang up first.
I was going to say.
It's going up against The Little Mermaid.
When I was buying tickets, none of the showings were in any of the large theaters.
Yeah.
They were all in the smaller screen.
Okay.
Just for context, the when I went and saw it yesterday afternoon, early afternoon, not the greatest movie time.
Sure.
It was 1:30 in the afternoon on
a Monday
Memorial
afternoon
Day.
is not a big ticket goer
Memorial Day.
time. What?
Okay.
Memorial Day.
It was in the same theater that our podcast had our screening in with our thing. Remember our thing last month?
Our
In
presentation.
Theater 8 at Galaxy. There was maybe
In the
14.
zip code of 89123.
I'm just saying there was probably 14 people in there.
Yes.
2 of which were my wife. So it was not a big
2 of which was your wife?
no. Me and my wife, 2 people, 2 tickets.
Apparently, there's a movie called The Machine from 2014.
Yeah,
I'm
so
looking at the wrong
it was
information.
Christian
it's not-
Bale.
listen, this thing is
That's
not.
an Academy Award winner.
That's The Machinist.
It's not.
No, it's The Machine 2014. It's a sci-fi. It's like a robot chick.
No,
on the
I was
cover.
talking about the Christian Bale.
Oh, the
Sorry,
Christian Bale one.
That was
Yeah.
my mistake.
Anyway, it's not breaking records. That's all I'm saying. But it's a funny
So-
movie.
My question is, do you think that this was made for present day where we are at with comedy, or do you think that this was made as an homage to the older generation who's like, we want like the grown-up road trip, the grown-up
Yes.
Euro trip,
That's
the
the
grown-up those 90s flicks that were just like American Pie, the grown-up American Pie.
I know
Is
that's
this,
the audience.
Is this what this was made for, is like the grown-ups who enjoyed those movies?
I know that is the exact audience that they're going for because Bert and Tom Segura have said as much. That is the exact things on their website. They have said that on their website.
Okay.
It's like the goal with this movie was to try and bring that type of comedy back to cinema.
Okay. That makes sense.
And they're not far off. It's a goofy, fun, rated R comedy movie.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't quite have that feel to it. You know what I mean?
What do you think it was lacking?
I think
it was the pacing. I think it would have been
Probably.
way funnier if it was a little bit faster paced.
Yeah.
And they
Okay.
spent less time with the family drama and more time with the crazy
I
antics.
kind of want to
Yeah.
watch it now because as someone who has a deep appreciation for those 90s comedies. I love Tropic Thunder. I
Yeah.
love Euro Trip. I love Road Trip. American Pie. It doesn't really hold up, but I know what it was going for, and I appreciate that. So like as someone who loves or appreciates those things, kind of want to watch it and see what my take is as far as like, how do I think I could have enjoyed this? Because honestly, his comedy is not for me. This is the one skit that he does that I'm like, okay, that's actually funny. So I can see it being made in. Sorry, I can see it being made into a movie.
Dude,
so I'm kind of curious what my take would have been. Now I wish I would have watched it.
Have you looked at the Rotten Tomatoes scores?
I have not.
Not that it
It's
matters
probably
because Rotten Tomatoes is trash, but 24%.
Yeah.
For the critic score.
Yeah, it doesn't.
89% for the audience.
Yeah, that's about where I expected.
And
it.
I don't know how to look up box office numbers. I mean, you'd think
it's like
Google,
I just told you. It's a 2-star movie, but it's a 3.5 star if you're a Bert Kreischer fan.
Yeah.
So
it was projected to make 5 million. It made 2.3 in its first day.
And that's really upsetting because I know Bert's going to be crushed.
No, it's not bombing.
He's going to
be acting like he's
going to be
cousin
devastated,
and you feel bad for him.
I do feel bad for him because
he made $2 million in the first day. It's
like
not,
one of my bucket list items.
Shut up.
I'm sorry. I'm not turning over. One of my bucket list
Mom,
items
Dad,
is to.
Please don't fight.
No, are we fighting? We're not fighting.
No, talk.
I want to drink with Bert. I want to party with Bert. That's like a thing. It's like I want him sitting right there.
Okay.
I want to.
I'm gonna take those Yukon Jacks.
Vodka bottles.
I'm gonna make a drink called the Bert.
Oh Jesus!
And you have to like it.
Yeah, whatever. I was like,
I don't know how to find box office numbers. This is ridiculous. So stupid. How do you not just Google box office numbers for the machine? How is that not a thing?
I don't know. It's first weekend,
That's
so
so
it's probably not out yet. I don't know. I'm sure it's out.
All right. So the domestic gross for the machine is $5,875,585.
He made his money.
Worldwide gross, $5,947,300.
4.9 million.
How am I Googling differently than you guys?
I don't know.
You're not putting the right things in your search engine.
Anyway, what was the budget? Does it say what the budget is?
I can have that for you in 9 seconds.
Go for it. Tell me what the budget is for that movie. That's fairly interesting. I wonder how much it costs because they had some. Who was the biggest name in that movie? Would you say it was Mark Hamill?
20 million.
Or do you think? Yeah. Do you think Bert's bigger than Mark
and Mark?
Doubled its budget.
Doubled its budget?
20 million.
Aside from Bert and Mark,
it's a success.
That's it. There's no other big names in that movie.
I'm only seeing about $6 million in terms of box office.
Oh wait.
Yeah. What do you mean double budget?
2023 budget. $20 million box office. This is saying $9.1 million, but
I think Bert's fans will end up making this movie.
Bert Kreischer,
help this movie make money in the end because they will purchase it, they will buy it, they will have this in their Amazon library and stuff when it's all over said and done.
Budget was 20 million. It made 9, so it made half. It's
so far.
Yeah, so far.
Yeah.
Well, the other Google search said that it made double.
So I'm going off of the website, thenumbers.com, which its whole job is to report box office.
Yeah, I don't know when this.
I think box office is such a bullshit number.
Can be.
You got to go off ticket sales.
I mean, budget is set. Box office is continually accruing as far as it being still in the theater.
So it costs 20 million to make. Is that what you said? So it's got to make. It's got to make.
Second Google search.
It's probably got to make what?
40,
60 million to break even.
Well, we already said it made like
10.
Oh,
so that's kind of disappointing.
Wait.
Yeah,
that's a bit of a bummer.
No one here can do math.
You're right. I can't do math.
No,
that's on me.
You've been drinking.
Yeah,
but you also got to understand that this thing is going on the same weekend as that piece of shit Disney movie is out. And it's just
that's counter programming because whatever.
Honestly, that wasn't made for you. That was made for kids.
Yeah,
no,
whatever.
Also, it's a holiday weekend too.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm curious. I hope it's successful. I don't know how successful it's going to be, but I do hope that they keep making it.
Doesn't Kreischer? So like, I'm not very familiar with him. Like, I've never seen his stand up or anything like that.
Really?
But he's on like some like major podcasts, right? Like his Two Bears One Cave.
Oh yeah,
has like
huge.
What, like
and he's on Rogan's show
he's
all
on
the
Rogan
time.
all the time.
Yeah. So like they get like millions of downloads on that podcast. So you would think that some of that would translate to the box office.
I think unless a lot of people are just waiting for streaming, buy it on Amazon or something.
I don't know. It's very.
Should we try to get on Rogan?
Yeah,
it's never gonna happen.
Yes,
I am not.
Never say never.
I
actually have an inroad to maybe possibly get Rogan.
He's never gonna let this bitch on.
Anyway, well, that's kind of the final discussion I wanted to have with you today. Was just about the show. I don't think it hit the mark. I agree. I wanted it to so badly to bring back comedies such as Hangover, Tropic Thunder, Old School, Sex Drive, all that stuff. I wanted to bring those back.
I
think they should have waited 2 more weeks
until after the holiday
to release it. Yeah.
I think that it's not a summer movie. Like they really should have waited, like released it in the fall or released it in the spring, but not the summer. Summer's too overcrowded.
Yeah.
And also, like, was this very well marketed? Because I literally did not know about it until you guys were talking about it.
It was well marketed to his fans.
To his fans. I knew about his fans
because
months ago.
All over Instagram, podcasts, all that stuff. But as far as like traditional marketing, I didn't see a single trailer for it.
But that tells you exactly how, as far as the real
seems
world.
like this was like put out like how you put it,
project.
like you put out an indie project.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Kind of. So maybe the marketing wasn't quite there for it, but I think it could have been re-edited a little bit to be a little bit faster.
Yeah, it almost sounds like the studio or the production house was relying solely on Bert Kreischer promoting it.
I mean, this thing was
as
made
opposed
a
to
while
putting
ago.
actual like marketing dollars behind it.
Yeah,
this thing was made a while ago
because they see numbers from Rogan's and Two Bears, and they're like, "Oh, they get millions of people." We'll
I feel like
it'll be a good draw.
I might be wrong, but I feel like this thing was like in production when the whole COVID shit hit.
No,
I think so. Yeah, no,
really,
for real. I do. I think
I didn't notice any of those issues. There's plenty of extras
because I know
2023.
Bert's been talking about this movie for a long time. Long time. So
give it your.
I don't know.
We're gonna wrap this up. Give you your final thoughts. Would you
My
recommend
final
people
thoughts?
go see it?
It's like I don't know if I have anything else to add. It's if you're a Bert Kreischer fan, go watch it. You will enjoy it. You will laugh. You'll have a good time. It's a 3.5-star Bert Kreischer movie.
That high.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're not a Bert Kreischer fan, it's a 2-star movie.
Okay.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying? It's funny. There's some laughs. It's
emotional.
It's got some moments, and
yep,
it is what it is.
I concur.
I like it. I thought it was fun. I thought a good time. It's a 3.5-star movie for me.
Okay,
but I'm a Bert Kreischer fan.
No,
my
wife,
my wife laughed and she chuckled, but she'll never watch it again.
I'm gonna give it 2.
You can't.
You've never seen it.
You
no, he said if you're not a Bert Kreischer fan, you can give it 2 stars. I'm gonna give it 2 machines because I'm not a Bert Kreischer fan.
Ignore her.
And when I watch it, I will tell you if I am right or not, which sometimes I'm not.
All right, guys. That's it for today's show.
What's your score?
I concur. I think it's probably close to a 3-star movie.
Okay.
But what he was saying about bringing comedies back, he's just missed the mark.
Yeah,
it's
not quite there. Yeah. It's not old school.
No.
It's not
quotable enough.
No.
It's not memorable enough. There's way too much family drama injected into it. It needed to be just a straight up Euro trip romp with Bert Kreischer. I think it should have focused on that more.
You guys remember like the last time a comedy kind of like revolutionized cinema? I think it was like Something About Mary was the one that like.
I think it was I can't think of the name of it. Vegas one with
The Hangover.
The Hangover. I think it was The Hangover.
Really?
I feel like there were like pivotal moments in comedy, and it was like Something About Mary, The Hangover, Tropic Thunder, and there are these just like moments in comedy that you know exactly where you were when you first saw it, and it's like ingrained in you comedically.
Like you Googled like top comedies of the past 5 years.
And
or
there's a bunch
something.
of trash.
And there's no comedies
a
on
bunch
there.
of shit you never heard of before.
Yeah, there was no
So
comedy.
what is
It's
this
just like
garbage?
according to us,
They
but
made-
like everyone's experience is different.
Yeah, but they had
No,
they
it
had
was
like everything
awful.
everywhere all at once. I'm like, that wasn't a comedy
It
movie.
wasn't even a comedy movie.
That was more of like that was an action kind of like goofy timey
But
wimey
isn't
movie.
that scary to think
Yeah.
that like today's people who are
Yeah.
watching movies
They
are
don't know
like
what comedy is.
that's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
You're like, go back.
I want to die if you think that was the best comedy of 2023.
It was
The same
not.
people who think Aquafina's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Fucking
Maybe.
don't get it.
Renfield was
Yeah.
on that list too, and I'm like,
Yeah,
Renfield wasn't
Renfield
that
was on
funny.
that list. It was awful.
Yeah,
Terrible.
not that
fucking movie.
funny. I mean, I love Nick Cage in it, but the
That
rest
is a
of the
dark comedic horror. How dare you?
No,
Nah.
it wasn't that funny.
Nah.
It wasn't. No.
So I
JT's
yeah.
in the house.
What's up, JT?
Oh,
what's
well,
going on,
better
man?
late than never.
I know we're about to end it, but
Your wife's in the house too.
Hi,
no, she's
okay,
there.
bye.
hey guys, if you like this podcast, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and comment below on your favorite video as well. That goes a long way with helping us boost our channel and get out there in front of more people. And it lets YouTube know that we're doing something right. And if you want to catch us live, we go live 2 times a week, once on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific time and on Tuesdays at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. So join us there in the chat. We will see you on the live stream. Stay salty.